Hi, and welcome back to the Dr. Ramsey Show. I know we talk a lot about aging and how to age well. I happened to meet this gentleman. I met him in January, actually. He's just been a patient for that short period of time, but I really am interested in sharing his story with you because I don't think it's unlike others. And my truth is, I want to educate as many people as possible that we don't have to suffer in our aging process. So let me introduce you, Ken, and we'll listen to his story. Ken, welcome to the Dr. Ramsey Show. I'm glad to have you here today.
Thank you, Dr. Ramsey.
Yeah, so sweet of you too, because I know you drove a long time to get here, number one.
I did, yep, from the west side.
But your personality is addicting. You have such a beautiful personality, so I thought you'd be great on this show. So tell us your story in coming here and where you were before, what you were looking for.
Okay, so my story began when I was about 39 or so, and I started experiencing the symptoms of standard low T with males and the whole deal. So I started going to my DO for that and prescribing the standard protocol for all that kind of stuff. And so I figured, well, you know, it's working, but somewhere along the line, I just didn't feel like it was working well enough.
Sure.
So my wife had started coming to you about a year ago, and I started thinking to myself, well, if she's coming to you and she's getting the results that she's getting from you, I'm going to start doing the same thing.
So that's interesting. You saw what changed with your wife.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you hadn't seen that, you probably wouldn't have even thought about it.
Well, it had always been in my mind about naturopathic medicine. I've had an instructor when I was in massage college to be a massage therapist years ago.
Wow.
Who was a student, and he was also one of our nutrition instructors.
Oh, wow.
And he was a naturopathic student. So that kind of exposed me to the world of naturopathic medicine. I got to tour the college down there and go to the cadaver lab and that kind of stuff. So it was quite an experience. So that kind of opened my eyes to there's another form of medicine that works with the body naturally and that you can actually live and not have to worry about a pill schedule.
Right.
And that's what I always told myself, you know, I do not want to get old and have to worry about what time I have to take each pill, or have to have a bunch of pills to take. You know, your retirement's supposed to be money you enjoy. It's not supposed to be money you invest in your pills, right?
Got it.
So, and so after that, I decided to make my appointment with you. And in January, I never have I ever, and nothing against our traditional medicine personnel, but it was always go get the doctor's appointment, then get your labs drawn. I think what really brought me to the impression stage with you and here was the fact that I go get my labs drawn right here in the office, and then you discuss all my values with me during the appointment, and where my optimum level is, and then where I'm at currently, or my conventional level.
Yes.
I've never been told that, or I've never been briefed on that. So that was where I was thinking to myself, this is where I'm going to come unless I need some major surgery.
Right, of course.
But for my actual everyday doctor, you have now become my primary care doctor.
So then share what it is you feel, like what's different now?
First, when I walk in the door of the office, I feel like there's times I could just come down here and just sit in the front office and do nothing.
Sweet.
Because I walk in here and it's like tranquil. There's no medical rooms. There's no white coats. There's no, everybody's friendly in the office. I've never met anybody here that hasn't been friendly. Even if they've never seen my face before, they've said hi. And the patients you have sitting in the lobby I've experienced have all been really friendly. They're happy with their lives, they seem to be. So it's like I'm in the right spot. You know what I mean? You know, I go in to get my blood drawn by Taylor, was the first one. Never ever have I ever experienced a blood draw like that. I didn't even feel the needle go in, and it was done and over with in a matter of a few minutes, and where I was on my way, and really nice. And then again, when I had my blood drawn again with Angela, again, I didn't feel it go in. And I'm thinking to myself, there is something really about this place and the quality of people Dr. Ramsey picks to be on her staff.
Yeah.
So I'm just impressed. I'm like, I think everybody should educate themselves
Yes.
and look into other ways and forms to enhance their body. You know what I mean? It's we're supposed to live a decent life and a long life and a functional life. I get it when you're not when you're too old to to function as we normally would see, and as we've probably seen our grandparents do.
Yes.
They get to a certain age, and then stuff just starts failing and falling off, so to
Yes.
speak. But for me, it was just, you know what, I want to age gracefully, and I want to age normally, and I want to be healthy in all aspects of my life, through whatever age it may take me.
That's right.
So I
Right.
don't want to sit and watch flowers grow if I can be out doing something and staying active.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for complimenting our nurses. I take pride in our staff, and I think they're all fantastic as well. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And what Ken's talking about, functional medicine, conventional medicine. Yes, there are doctors who prescribe hormones here, some hormones. However, if they're not trained by my doctor, if they're not reading the research, they're not getting the right hormones, because Ken was on hormones before we met. You were on testosterone before we met. And so, the research is what dictates my choices and what dictates the outcomes of my practice. And Ken is a good example of that. In fact, all my patients are. I expect my patients to come back feeling better each and every time. And they do. Why? Because I'm giving you exactly what your body made that you cannot make anymore.
Right.
And when we have these hormones, now we don't have fatigue. We don't have insomnia. We don't have weight gain. We don't have low libido. Right. We don't have painful intercourse. And we also, the part that I think about that I don't think my patients think about is reduce the risk of so many aging conditions. Alzheimer's, heart disease, breast cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer, all reduced significantly. People think it's risky.
Right.
If this was a risky career, I wouldn't be practicing it.
Sure.
So I really appreciate your story, because you were feeling okay. Now you feel great.
Yep. I was feeling okay, but now I told my wife the other day, I said, this new regimen Dr. Ramsey has me on is quite a regimen. And I told you the other day in my appointment that if you would ask my wife, she would say that things have changed quite a bit. So, and not that they weren't good before.
Sure.
It's just that things are different now. But she laughed and thought that was pretty funny. But,
it's interesting, because I've been asking my couples too, like, does your wife or does your husband take hormones? Because if they don't, there might be a disconnect in the way you live, the way you age, etc. And so it's nice to treat the couples, and we mostly treat couples.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I was picking up my MP thyroid the other day in Fry's, I happened to hear a lady, and she was, I think I mentioned it to you, she was kind of having a fit because she was having to pay for her testosterone that she was getting at the pharmacy, and I kind of found her in an aisle, not looking for her, just walked out and happened to see her, and confronted her and told her maybe you should check out Dr. Ramsey in Scottsdale. She is she's functional. She will be she'll do all the labs you need. And the thing about it is she kind of looked at me and in the beginning was kind of thrown back.
Yes.
But then by the end of our conversation what was her name again? And I'm like thinking to myself, I should have had a card. And so when I left on my last appointment, I grabbed a few cards.
That's nice.
And I keep one in my wallet. So when people
Thank
ask,
you.
hey, you know what, here's who I go see. Here's my
Right.
primary care physician.
It's interesting, as I hear that story, I think of this. If she was on progesterone, she'd be a lot calmer. If she was on estradiol, she'd be a lot smarter. And if she was on right testosterone, she would be frustrated.
Right. Exactly.
So, that was so kind of you. And that's what I love, is when it affects you, it's hard not to share.
Sure.
That's what I feel myself.
Yep.
So thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else you want to say? You've shared a lot with us.
Just people. Just,
Yeah.
they're not, once they finally cross over and come into this world of naturopathic medicine, they will find the stark difference of how you educate people on what needs to be done and what you're going to do. And I think what even more impressed me even more, if I can say that more and even more, was when you sent me out of here with a patient plan. It's my instructions to follow when I go home. Yeah, that was right there was over the top for me.
Right,
That was
right.
just where I go out and go, yep, this is my place. So, yeah.
big part for me is educating. That's why you get those plans, because without, there's a new language to all my patients. Like I speak it every day.
Yep.
So without that plan, I don't know,
That's right.
you'd be lost.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For your
Thank you.
exuberance in life, for
Yeah.
loving life, and spreading the word
Yep.
and sharing it with our
You
viewers.
bet. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.